Hi everybody, how are you? In today's video we're gonna explain the stream. Now in the previous lecture we explained the future. Both future and stream is a part of asynchronous programming. I mean when we're using the stream or working with the stream or future, that means we work with the asynchronous programming. So now what's the stream? Stream is like a pipe. In the pipe you have an end to end in the pipe, right? The first end you can insert the value from the first end, and you can see or receive the value, the output from the other end. So here in the first end, insert the value. We have a pipeline. The data will streaming or flowing in this pipeline, and there is a listener object or something listener to in the another value in other end to receive the output. So also in the stream you have multiple listener. Maybe you can add multiple listener. All those listener can see or receive the same data. So the stream, we have a streaming or flowing of data, and then we have a listeners. Those listener can receive this data from the stream. For example, the stream, like a future, we say request the data from the API or from the internet, for example, and after a specific time receive the response from the API. We have just one response, just request for the data from API and then receive the response from the API. Just one response. But in the other hand, the stream is different. In the stream we can, for example, request the data from the internet or from the Firestore, for example, and this data, and we just listening for this data, and in the specific time, after the sometimes and different time, this data will coming as response in the different time. Maybe in the after 2 seconds we have a response, after 3 or 4 seconds we have another response, and so on. For example, here you can see like this. In the future, make a request, and after sometimes you can get the response. But in the stream it is different. We have a request, and in the long time, in the specific time, you get a response, and then we have another response, and we have another response. So here you should add the listener to listen to this stream. Here we have a stream and we want to listen to the stream. For example, here we subscribe the listener, here we subscribe another listener, or something like this, or just one listener to listen the data along the time. So we have a lot of or multiple response in the stream, like a stream of fall, for example, or stream of data or flowing of data. This data will flow like a pipeline, flow from the source and receive from the other end. You can receive the data flowing of data always or still flowing, not just response and exit. Here, for example, we have observable and subscriber. Rx Java, for example, you can see like this. Observable. In the Flutter, observable called stream. So now stream, that means same as observable, or observable, that means stream. Something that observe, because stream is a stream of data. So you should subscribe to observe this data, or to listen to this data, or to receive the data. So you have stream and you have subscriber. In the Flutter, the observable stream and subscriber called listener in the Flutter. So here we have a stream of data. This stream may be the data from Firestore, for example, or anywhere, and we have a listener. This listener will listen to the observable or to the stream. Subscribe, that means I subscribe to the stream because I want to listen to the stream. I just subscribe in the screen and then receive the data along the time until the data complete or receive the error. So now here we want to implement this for the stream. We want to add like a counter. Every 2 seconds I will receive the counter, the number. For example, 1, after 2 seconds we have 2, after 3 seconds 3, and 4, 5, and so on. So it is a stream of integer. So I want to add the type of stream, not of future here, stream of what? Of integer, because I want integer. And the name, for example, counter. And like this here. In the future we're using async, right? In the stream you should add like this here, like a star here. It is a different from the future. I mean this function should run asynchronously. This function should run asynchronously, but not exit after return the value. In the async like this, I mean in the future, for example, I mean this function will work asynchronously. That means I want to waiting for this function. But also when the function returns something, that means I will exit from this function. But here, just add like this, that means asynchronously waiting for this function. But even if I return something, not exit from the function. Why? Because stream, not just one response. As I said before here. Here we have, in the future, just one response and exit. But here, after return one response again, and then return another response, and then another response, and so on. So it is a stream of data. So I don't need to exit after response or after return. So just add like this here. Then I want to while, because I want to loop, because I want to stream of data, stream of integer. That means I want to make a loop. Here, for example, add the counter var c equal begin from 0 until, for example, 100. That means while c less than or equal 100. That means from 0, like a counter, from 0 until 100. Here I want to add a time, because in the stream the data should respond after sometimes. Here we have a time. After seconds, for example, we have a response. After 3 seconds, we have another response. So we have a different time along the time, like a future. So not just immediately come the data. The data should take a time to coming. So it is a future. So here add the future. For example, 1 second or 2 seconds. After second or 2 seconds, I have a data here. Here it will take a time, right? So I should add a wait. So here, await, right? I'm waiting for this data because it takes a time, that function. After that, I should return something. For example, here return C plus plus. That means I want to add 1 to the 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But after 2 seconds, I will receive the data. But here you can see we have a problem. I add a star here, right? Because I said this function after response or after return, I want to continue, not exit. So here instead of return, also you should add something called yield. Like this. Now it is no problem. Yield, that means it is also return, like a return, exactly like a return. But that means after return or after yield this data or return this data, C++, I mean should not exit also. Like this. Just yield the data and still working. Because the return, that means if you add the return, you know, the return, that means after return the program or the function will exit or complete. But the yield is different, because streaming of data, even if this data respond or return the value, this data not stop working. It's continuously executing, because streaming of data, return a stream of data. Now I complete. This function should return a data. Now we said in the stream, I should add a subscriber or something to listen to this data, because the sequence of data, I said a stream like a sequence of data. This data will respond or return in the specific time, along the different time. So in this sequence of data, I should add a listener or subscriber, something to listen to this data. I mean here this function counter will emit the data, will emit the data, or will return a data. I should add a subscriber or add the listener. So here I want to add, for example, another function called task. This function I want to add a listener to this data. So here I have a counter. There's a stream, right? A counter is a stream here. Like this here, a counter is a stream or observable. So here I want to add a listener. So just dot listen. I want to listen to this counter. When I listen to this counter, will return the data here. The data here from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I will receive the data in the function here. For example, I can make it data or value or anything. For example, data here. Like this. Now I have a stream, and I subscribe the listener and the stream to listen to the stream. Now the listener will listen to this data that's flowing in the stream and receive the data. For example, here this data here come from the stream from here. Now we want just to print this data. Print the data. Just like this. Now in the main function I want to add the task like this. And just run here. And you can see, just waiting. Every 2 seconds you have a number. See, this response. And again, another response, another response. Every 2 seconds we have a response because the stream of data, you can see here, there's a stream of data flowing here, and the listener see the data and just print the data here after until 100. So I hope you understand the stream. The stream also work in the isolate, in the one isolate like this here, like a future asynchronous programming. That means it work in the one isolate. So we have the task, for example, this task is respond a stream. That means implement this without the result, waiting for the result. Then implement the task 3 and then see the first result from the task 2. And then we have listener, so a next also waiting for another response and another. You have a subscriber in the thread here and just response or see the response or listen to the response from the stream. So the stream is a flowing of data or streaming of data or sequence of data that come along the time, along the different time. So I hope it was useful. In the next lecture, I will explain how to connect between or to link between the widget in the Flutter with the future and stream. I hope it was useful. Thank you very much.